I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers. Yahoo!
It's the way of the future.
It's the way of the Mario.
That's what happens when you combine Mario and then the first letter of Odyssey is you get Mario.
Mario.
The spiritual Shenmue successor.
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey. Yahoo!
Yahoo! Welcome, Button Mappers.
Welcome. Well, no, stop. We're the Button Mappers.
We are the Button Mappers. We are the Button Mappers.
They are the Mapettes.
The Mapettes. Let's
Yes,
be gender neutral here.
I wish we had like a dance team and we called them the Mapettes.
There's always room for, for the
If
budgeting,
anybody
I guess.
knows any backup dancers that want to come and dance for us on our videos.
For our signature map outs, especially.
Yeah, the Mapettes.
The map outs and the mapettes.
Super Mario Odyssey. We're going to talk about this game because it's a game that came out on the Switch in 2017.
Hells yeah.
It's a game where Mario is a Mario. Do we need to tell you who the hell Mario is? You know who Mario is. He's Mario, the little red dude.
Mm-hmm. Not to be confused with Sonic.
The little blue dude.
The little blue dude, yeah.
Mario.
Mario.
He is still the gaming icon.
Yep, and he's really gone ahead and proved it on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey, one of the top tier Switch games, and we're going to jump right into talking about why this game is worth mapping.
Let's map out Mario Odyssey.
Super Mario Odyssey!
So, Teddy, you start up your new save file and the brand new Switch title, Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. We did. We started new save files for Mario Odyssey.
What do you see?
So
What do you Odyssey?
Honestly, for Odyssey, I'm filled with modesty. No, I'm not going to be Dr. Seuss. Okay, so start Dr. I'm calling him Dr. Mark. Goddamn.
Dr. Odyssey.
Dr. Odyssey. Dr. Mario Odyssey. Look, here's the thing, right? Is you start Mario Odyssey and it starts like no modesty. I can't do this. I can do this. It starts like no Mario like ever before. It's dramatic. It's a fight scene from the very get-go between Mario and Bowser. And yes, these games have started with, Mario and Bowser fighting. However, they're on top of the air cruiser. They're fighting over the princess, except she's dressed in wedding garb. And who's she marrying, Alex?
Not Luigi.
That's
not
for sure.
Waluigi.
That's also for sure.
Good old our boy Bowser.
Dun dun dun.
He's our boy. So long, gay Bowser. He's our boy.
He's looking pretty sharp too.
Yeah, he's got that suit on and everything. I like the way his his feet have like little metal pieces on his feet. It makes him still look threatening, and it's like the most threatening suit I've ever seen.
What was striking to you about the intro to the game?
Well, for one, that they were already fighting on top of the airship. It's almost like a previous Mario game had just ended. It's crazy. Like Mario, like how did he get up there? Like what adventure was he on already? So not only has Bowser kidnapped the princess, but he's gonna marry her. He's gonna make it official. Which he kidnaps the princess every week. It's a regular thing. When Monday they have golf. Tuesday they have a party. Wednesday he kidnaps the princess. It's just regular week in the Mushroom Kingdom.
But the wedding is special.
Yes, he's gonna marry Peach. She's gonna be his wife, and that's gonna be that. And he defeats Mario. Something that I don't think we've seen before. Am I right? Where he's actually like defeated Mario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think back to like the Mario and Luigi games, and there Mario usually stomps on Bowser, and that's that. Mario's inside story. He's like digested by Bowser, whatever. But this one, yeah, he's pummeled,
Yeah, Mario does not save Peach,
and he gets embarrassed in the worst Mario way possible. He's like Mario shamed.
For one, he gets thrown off the ship, and his poor Mario's iconic red hat gets torn to shreds by a propeller.
And you think to Mario 64, he's lost the hat. That little monkey steals your hat. Mario gets it back. Not a big deal. But when's the last time you saw Mario's head?
Yeah, exactly. Mario's had that hat for like over 30 years, and there it goes. Rip the shreds.
So he's kicked off the airship. What next?
He lands in our first kingdom here, the Cap Kingdom.
A kingdom for Cap?
For Captain America?
Captain America Kingdom?
For Capcom? It's the Cap Kingdom. And I say the Cap Kingdom because this game is all about going to different kingdoms. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So you could call it an Odyssey.
Well, I'm glad you can, because that's what they did.
What happens in the Cap Kingdom?
Mario wakes up and he is notices he's in this weird black and white looking kingdom, and he finds his new friend.
Wow. What's his friend's name?
His name is Cappy. Do you know what Cappy does?
Does he cap?
He caps. Does he cap?
Does he cap his 40 ounce bottle?
Yeah. He caps.
For shame.
It's just a soda factory.
Talk to me about the Cap.
Cappy is a hat ghost, I think. He's definitely a hat.
On what he is, but
yes. What the hell is Cappy, Nintendo? He's a cat, a hat cap ghost thing that can take the shape of any hat desired.
Okay.
So noticing that Bowser has gotten away with his sister, I believe, right? And noticing Mario has plummeted from the sky, he puts two and two together and realizes he should probably help this guy. So he becomes a hat for good old boy Mario. And the first hat he becomes is the best hat. It's a top hat. But Mario's not too fond of that one, so it becomes the classic Mario hat.
With
eyes.
With eyes. How creepy.
How fucking creepy. So if you're wondering why on the cover art for Mario Odyssey his hat has eyes, that's why.
I get creeped out when I see the Odyssey hats, like in YouTube videos or in when people are wearing them like without considering what they're wearing, or in like the game stores.
Like you're wearing a whole character on your head. Like he's your companion. He's your Navi or your Midna in this game.
Good comparison.
Yeah. So, and he feels plot relevant. Like, remember in Sunshine, did Flood feel plot relevant?
No. Flood was a little annoying. If I can.
Yeah, he was just there as a tool to use.
I didn't mind what Flood did. Like, I liked the abilities, but as far as like the character of Flood, no, I don't care about Flood.
Yeah, but Cappy has character. Cappy likes to joke around sometimes, and he's also on the Odyssey. He'll talk to you between kingdoms while you're on the ship, and everything else. He's integral to the game's plot.
So, what does Cappy offer Mario within the Cap Kingdom?
Well, the Cap Kingdom, we should say, is like a tutorial area where you really get to learn Mario's controls and really get to learn what the plumber can do. And one of the key things is that you can throw Cappy, which is nice for collecting coins. You can use them to collect coins. You can use them to like take off like posters off walls to find secrets, to pluck like poles from the ground and stuff like that. And he's very useful. You would be throwing Cappy a lot.
Mm-hmm. And he really does open up the game quite a bit in terms of how you play. The level almost feels incomplete without him. Like you start off chasing Cappy, running to try and get him down. Well, those first few minutes of trying to get to him are almost a little awkward, even though the game plays like previous 3D Marios before it.
Yes. But after you get Cappy, it really feels like this is what the game was designed around. And, Teddy, do you know what happens whenever you get to the I guess you call it the cave area in this section?
Alex, do I ever? It's probably one of the most remarkable moments in the game.
Cappy shows off what he is all about. And it's a very unique mechanic, and it's something that I've never seen a game do before.
Alex, do you remember your first time?
I remember my first time like it was yesterday. Heart music. I had just started playing Odyssey. It was my first time playing the Switch, actually. It wasn't the first time it wasn't my Switch. It was my friend's Switch. He brought it over to me to try out. And he said, here's Mario. You like Mario? Play it. So I started playing Mario. I get to this part. I'm like, oh, this game's pretty fun so far. I can jump around on Mario. It feels very free. I get to the section where I can't progress, and I see this frog. And Cappy's like, maybe you should try to throw me at that frog or something. And my friend's like, yeah, try to hit that frog. So I throw Cappy at the frog, and Cappy attaches to the frog, and Mario gets sucked into the frog's head, and he's like falling through this like the frog's mind, and there's like pictures of frogs flying by him, and then all of a sudden, Mario is the frog.
It was bizarre, right?
What? And that's probably the first moment I realized, like, oh, this is what Odyssey's about.
It's a very Majora's Mask-esque transformation, except without all the drama and sadness. Well,
it was still kind of unsettling because like Mario's like, what the hell? He's like being sucked into his head. So it was still like Mario was like, ah. But then after it happens, Mario was like, oh shit, I'm a frog, and then like you realize you can use the frog to get to higher ground that you couldn't get to before as Mario. And you're like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing here. They really brought you a new gameplay mechanic that was fun and fresh and exciting.
Yeah, that's definitely the first moment in the game where it's like you're learning the Odyssey mechanic and the Odyssey skill. It's not just throwing a hat. It's becoming the map. If I do say that so as myself as a button mapper.
Yeah. It's very fun, and it's a very fun and fresh mechanic that doesn't intrude on the Mario platforming that you want to do.
In fact, it actually just really enhances it. Like the massive jumps as the frog, the skipping across water, and you do that to get to the top of the Cap Kingdom, where you fight some interesting mini bosses. Do you want to talk about them?
Yeah. So Bowser has hired wedding planners. Isn't that cute?
But they're not.
Yeah, but they're not cute. These are the Brutals, and they are rabbit creatures that Bowser has hired to plan his wedding, and they're not going to let you ruin it.
Well, hypothetically.
Hypothetically. Do you like these characters?
No, they suck.
Yeah, me either. I felt like Nintendo was like, oh, we need to come up with a brand new Mario enemy. And then they just made rabbit versions of the Koopalings.
How do you feel about them as compared to the Koopalings?
I'd probably rather have the Koopalings, because at least I know the Koopalings by name, and I can kind of like, get a feel for their characters. Like, the Brutals are just kind of like interchangeable white rabbits with like different clothes on.
Yeah, I could probably name several of the Koopalings off the top of my head, and I barely know them, but they're iconic, and they're like cute little mini renditions of Bowser. I had to look up what the Brutals were even called after the game was done, even though I'd seen them so many times.
Yeah, they're just boring. And I felt like maybe Nintendo could have done a lot better with the secondary enemies having Bowser's underlings. I like the fact that they're trying to introduce new enemy characters. That's awesome. Instead of trying to rely on Kamek or on the Koopalings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to come up with something new and fresh. It's just what they came up with wasn't very good.
Even if they tried, they brought the airship back and whatnot, but yeah, unfortunately, it's not quite all that, nor a bag of chips.
Yeah, so you beat the brutal that attacks you there, which again, I think their boss fights are very reminiscent to the Koopalings. They're very simple boss fights.
Then what?
And then, Teddy, you're at the end of the road. There's just nothing there but like a power line.
Yeah, like what the hell? Like the scene just goes completely silent. It's dead quiet after you've beaten the mini boss. Usually you're like rewarded. You get some moons. I think you get some moons maybe.
Yeah, you get some moons.
You get a moon or something. But, the moon, you get the moon, and then you're just sitting there at the top of the Cap Kingdom. Power line, looking out on the moon. What do?
You throw your hat.
When in doubt, throw your hat.
And throw your hat, and Mario became a little, I don't know, like electric ball thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he just zips across the line. And then the Mario Odyssey logo appears. Or whatever the song is.
That was a moment for sure. When I saw I became the Volt, I was like, okay, after the frog, that's cool. I can become transformations. And I became an electric Volt. And I ziplined to another kingdom. How did you feel when that first happened?
I was like, whoa, that's it? That's the Cap Kingdom? I was like, wait a second, what? Uh-huh. And then I was like, and then like it like zipped, and because I was like, maybe the Cap Kingdom's like the hub world, and then it zipped, and I was like, what is this? It's like this green watery kingdom with like dinosaur fossils and stuff in front of me, and I was like, what? Wait a second. Wait a second, and then it popped up. This is the Cascade Kingdom.
Woohoo! That was a dramatic change because the Cap Kingdom was drab, it was dark, it was covered in fog, it was literally black and white, and now you're in this colorful prehistoric region.
Vibrant. It's very vibrant. It looks nice. It looks fun. It looks like you want to explore it. Gets you excited.
Yeah. What were you excited about when you first played through Cascade Kingdom?
The first thing I was excited about, the fact that one of the first things I saw were chain chomps. And I was like, yo, I want to be a chain chomp. Which you do, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I was also excited because one of the things they showed was a giant sleeping T-Rex.
Mm-hmm. That's what,
not
if
like
you've seen footage for this game, you've seen the T-Rex.
Yeah, not like a cartoon, like Yoshi-looking T-Rex. Like a fucking T-Rex.
Mm-hmm. Like straight out of Animal Planet.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say Jurassic Park, but yeah.
Uh-huh. Straight out of, dinosaur cereal. No, not quite. It's more intense than that.
Dinosaur mac and cheese. Straight out of that. It was, what was the first thing that caught your eye about this kingdom?
Oh, God. I mean, well, the first thing that caught my eye was probably the kingdom. No, I really liked how lush it was. There's a waterfall early on, and yeah, the chain chomps are cool. I did kind of wish I could like roam around as them, but as far as standout moments here, there's a T-Rex, there's a 2D warp pipe, and there are chain chomps, and I think those are some real highlights to this level. Becoming the T-Rex is just like it's almost iconic for this game. Like, I had to hand the Switch to my girlfriend on my second playthrough and just be like, hey, there's a really cool transformation right here. You want to try and find it? And she's like, yeah, I'll try it. And then when she saw the T-Rex, her eyes bulged, and she was like, whoa, that's so cool. And then she, like, started running around, like, chomping things down. The T-Rex would fall asleep. She'd go back, get the T-Rex. It was, that I think is a signature for Cascade Kingdom.
I don't want to bust Mario's bubble, but I believe Banjo did this years earlier in 2E.
And you're right. Did it do it as well?
No.
I do love Banjo too. Don't get me wrong.
But yeah, the T-Rex transformation here was just so fun. I was like trying to find everything that was breakable in the environment. You know, it was like opening up new pathways, new secrets, new like power, new moons you can collect. Like, just it was so fun.
Yeah,
I was
like you had mentioned in our Banjo-Kazooie map out that you used to try and push the limits of the transformations and go explore. Did you do that with the T-Rex this time?
Yeah, I mean you couldn't go too far because it's like a small area. But yes, I did, and I tried to find everything I could to interact with the T-Rex.
What else do you think about in this level besides the T-Rex?
The fact that it starts throwing hidden moons at you, there's a lot of stuff you can miss. A lot of moons that you may not even think about collecting that you could find. And it dawned on me while I was playing this level, Jesus fucking Christ, there's a lot of moons in this game. They're nothing like Power Stars. Or Shine Sprites. They are everywhere. You will be getting moons left and right. It almost feels like oh no, like how long is this game? Like how many, like, you know, if there's like 300 moons, I'm getting them this fast. Whoa, you know. But but I want you to relax and think about the fact that there's like 800 something moons in this game. So yeah, you're gonna collect some of them pretty damn fast.
That's true. The number of moons that you need to get out of this level is, I think it's like 6 or 7. So, but you're right in that just going around and exploring, you just happen upon so many moons. You know, it almost becomes a staple that every time you go into a 2D warp pipe section from this point on in the game, there's like a hidden part of the wall that you can walk through, and there's a moon.
And the 2D pipe sections are fucking cool. They like harken back to Mario 1 and uses his Mario 1 model, and I love it so much because Mario 1 is my favorite.
And the music remixes as an 8-bit theme.
Yes. Yes, it's so cool. And you're right, yeah, you do get one for those, so that kind of tells you. I do think that's an issue with the game. We'll talk about it later, but I do think that collecting so many so fast kind of devalues the moons.
I think and you're right, but I also, you know, I want to how do I say this? I want to appreciate the sheer fun of the collecting aspect in this game. It's like, where can I find the next moon? Where's the next one going to be hiding? How far can I go as the T-Rex? Can I do anything else with the chain chomp?
Yeah. It's just like, it's a big playground. And Mario games haven't felt like this in forever. So it was so refreshing to hop back in and play the Cascade Kingdom and realize that Nintendo did it. You know, they made something that just made me want to explore like I was a kid.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a boss fight here. Do you want to talk about it?
You fight a Brutal.
It's like a Mama Brutal or something.
Yeah, how about that? You use a chain chomp against it. I mean, that's kind of neat. That's a neat use of the chain chomp. But other than that, I don't care about the Brutal.
Yeah, me neither. But you beat the Brutal. You get a 3-ring moon thing, which is kind of a cool little aesthetic thing. It's like a moon necklace. You get 3 moons at once. And the golden chain chomp is kind of cute. But other than that, you know, you take your moons, you bring them back to your ship, the Odyssey, you power it up, and you gain a sail. And where do you sail off to, Alex?
You sail off to your second kingdom, the Sand Kingdom.
That's me making like sand noises.
That's pretty good. I thought I was in a desert for a second.
Wow, you may just be. Aren't you in like the Midwest?
The Sand Kingdom. And not only is this your average, everyday Mario Sand level, this level's special.
Yeah. You said in the previous kingdom was where you realized that, oh my gosh, how many moons are there? This is that kingdom for me. When
Okay.
I first played this level, I probably spent like 2 hours here just collecting and collecting and collecting, and the world kept changing, and it was already huge to begin with.
It's a big area.
I got like 48 moons on my first playthrough just in this second level, and it's just because I wanted to see what was out there, and I was having so much fun really exploring this massive desert kingdom.
I really loved getting off of the ship, and first thing you see is a little village. And I I was like, oh, and you get to see some of like you meet like the little skeleton people that live there, and they're like fiesta themed clothing and stuff, and it's so cool. Like it really felt like this was like a part of the Mario world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like this
And
was some
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, like this was some like unexplored like culture in the Mario universe.
It's Tostarina.
It was so cool.
This is the level where it stood out to me that Mario has a wardrobe.
Oh yeah.
You know, there was the shop in the Cascade Kingdom, but it was really apparent in this one. You know, you can put a whole poncho and sombrero, or I don't know the right phrases here, but you know, you can garb up Mario for the occasion.
Oh yeah, and you get a power moon for doing it too. There's a little mission where you have to get into this party, and you need the right clothes to get in.
Is it a Mario party?
Oh. But not only is there a little village, but there's all kinds of like temples and ruins, and you know, it looks like some like Mayan stuff. You know, it's very cool.
What are some of the standout stylish features of the Sand Kingdom for you?
For one, I love I love the aesthetic. I love how it's like there's these like big shards of ice sticking out of the sand, and you're like, ice and sand? That makes no fucking sense, you know? Until you get to, I think it's, you know, like later on, and you realize what's causing it, and you're like, oh, okay. And then, I love the temples. I think the temples have a really nice aesthetic. They don't look Egyptian. They look Mayan, you know? Which is very different, because I think most Mario games that have, like, that, like, desert levels try to keep it, like, more like an Egyptian, like, Egypt-looking area, you know? Like this, like, the sand's not even yellow. It's like, the sand's, like, brown. So, it gives it, like, a very different feel.
This level's a total mesh of stuff, and I love it. I love the hidden not kingdoms, the hidden, I guess you'd call them temple areas, and the challenges that are there. And, you know, it definitely plays into some of the transformations and, you know, acquiring things as well. This is the first level where you can change into a Goomba, which is pretty unique. The Goombas do a couple things, you know. How do you feel about the Goomba transformation?
I love stacking the Goombas. I love to see how many Goombas I can stack in an area.
Do you know what your max is?
I don't know, but I've gotten them up pretty high before. It's so fun.
Probably at like 15, maybe. I don't know.
You know what transformation stuck out here for me?
It's got to be the Bullet Bill.
Oh, it's the Bullet Bill, man. That was so cool. That's such a unique way to change up the platforming. Not only the platforming, but the puzzle solving. There's like certain things you have to hit with the Bullet Bill.
Have you ever like thought much of the Bullet Bill before this?
No, like, you know, outside of like Mario Kart where they're like you're an item, like no.
In this one, it just completely opens up the game in a way. I mean, you can only go so far as the Bullet Bill, but you can pretty much fly across infinite space.
And they break objects, and it makes them very useful. And it's just like, plus I like the fact that it's timed, because it kind of like when you're trying to like say like there's some power moons off on like a pillar, and I was like, oh Lord, can I make it out here with this thing? And then like I barely made it by like the skin of my teeth, you know. And I was like, yeah.
There's another acquirable in this level that's not necessarily a Bullet Bill, but it also stands out to me. Do you know what it is?
Is it the tiki looking head, the Easter Island head?
Actually, I don't really like those things.
Oh, well, those things are weird.
Yeah. I love the Jaxies though.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it's like this massive desert level, and it's almost a little intimidating. Well, once you've cleared the first, I guess up to the Brutals, maybe.
Yeah.
And you
No, I think it's beyond that. I think it's once you figure out the whole freezing issue.
That might be it. Well, I know it's once it's nighttime.
Which we should say that also these kingdoms from now on, after you do the brutal stuff and find what Bowser was there for, because he's at all the kingdoms to find something for his wedding. So once you figure all that out, there's still more to explore and more stuff to do, like in the kingdom beyond that. And they really do feel alive.
The Jaxies really open up the level to me. Like, I think there's even a section where it's like, what the Jaxie is for our audio listeners, I guess, is that, you're on this taxi cab that's a statue of a lion, and it comes to life and just starts like running across the desert, and you can barely break the thing. It's like invincible, pretty much. It's so much fun to ride on that thing.
Were you confused when you saw the guy with the taxi cab in the desert, and you were like, "What is that? What?"
Yes, because I wondered where the hell he went after I fixed everything.
Yeah, it's like a real ass guy with a taxi cab, and you're like, What is he doing way out here?"
I was wondering when I would get to the Metro Kingdom, which I was aware of because of like trailers and stuff.
Yeah, it kind of spoiled it.
Yeah, unfortunately. What else? Is there anything else you want to say about the Sand Kingdom?
I feel like at times it could be a little daunting to try to find all the moons because it is such a big area. It could be for some people it could be fun to explore because it is such a big area, but for me, at points I found myself like, holy shit, like I still got all this area I haven't even explored very much, like how many moons do I have to find in this place,
The other thing that was a little intimidating for me and that I didn't fully get here was all of the purple coins. So even though I had spent a good 2.5 hours here, I got like 90 purple coins, and you need the purple coins if you want to buy every item from the shop.
That's right.
That was a little daunting for me.
But you don't need to. I mean, you can go in there and buy your power moon. They have power moons on sale usually. And then you can go in and buy clothes for Mario and change up his outfit. But the rest of them are just like collectibles and stuff for your airship.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have bought like the upside down pyramid one.
Fair enough. So I guess we'll take that to the next kingdom, and this time we have a choice.
Oh, this is where the game really is like, which kingdom do you want to go to next? And it gives you a choice between the Wooded Kingdom and the Lake Kingdom. Teddy, which one did you go to first?
I went to the Wooden Kingdom. Do you know why?
What's that?
Because I hate swimming in 3D platformers.
Oh, you poor soul.
We'll get back to that when we get to the Sea Kingdom. Let's talk about the Wood Kingdom.
It's wood.
Uh-huh.
This kingdom was the first kingdom that I was maybe a little underwhelmed with.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a weird aesthetic of almost like a post-apocalyptic factory at points. It's like wooded areas and then like metal rusted looking areas.
Mm-hmm.
And it does give off a very unique aesthetic, but this one is very. I feel like this one's much smaller on a scale than the last two.
This one has verticality is its big, platforming feature. How did you feel escalating the Wooded Kingdom?
It was a fun platformer challenge. I especially like the little things that you get that like can grow their legs. Little enemies.
Yeah, these guys are called uproots, but
they grow their legs really high and then they pop up to that point, and you can do some really cool platforming like that. It added a nice challenge to some of the areas. And this one I felt was definitely geared towards more being a solid platformer stage than it was a collectathon stage.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. The transformation was interesting, the uproots, and you do use them to good effect in the last cycle of the Moon collections here. You have to defend a flower field. I guess that's the big story element here. But otherwise, I can't say I'm like excited to go back to Wooded Kingdom. There's nothing like real standout here. There are some tanks, which are interesting. But again, I didn't think they were any of the highlights for the game.
Oh yeah, you do become the tank here. That's right.
I think by comparison to like the Chain Chomp and the T-Rex, I just did not get that same sense of like surprise or like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah, and I expected it to slow down at some point, but I still think this level works pretty well for a 3D platformer. Maybe not the kind of 3D platformer this game is trying to be. I felt like maybe this was Nintendo slipping back into their Mario 3D World, Mario Galaxy style, where it's a little more linear. But I did like the tank sections. I did like the uproot sections, and I do think the meshing of like the post-apocalyptic looking like rusted factories and the grass and stuff really works for the aesthetics.
Yeah, that's fair. Here's another thing, and maybe this is why it feels underwhelming. Sometimes when this game gives you a choice between two worlds, both of those worlds are condensed by comparison to like your Toast Arena, Sand Kingdom, etc., which feel massive and open. They actually divide the number of like moons and purple coins that you get here. So I know you can only get like 50 purple coins on like Lake Kingdom or maybe Wooded Kingdom as well. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. Did you feel that maybe this level suffered from feeling too condensed?
Yeah, like I said, it definitely felt more like a linear level than a open level, and it made this kingdom fly by. And I don't recall a lot of it because I played through it and I never looked back.
And why should you? Except in the map app.
Except in the map app.
Yeah. No looking back from there. Let's go to the other kingdom.
I like the Lake Kingdom.
Really? Weren't
Yes.
you the one that was dreading swimming and I want to say Sonic the Hedgehog, but
I
Banjo-Kazooie?
well, I did this level last just like you because I didn't want to swim.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Little did my little peanut brain think about the fact that we can probably use a new enemy to swim.
Mhm.
And that enemy was the Cheep Cheep.
I had the exact same oversight.
I became the Cheep Cheep and I was like, holy shit, this is fun. They made swimming fun. Like, no air, no bad controls, like you're just a fucking fish. This is great. It was fun to explore. I actually like being in the water more than I liked being on my feet on this level. I actually wanted to explore more in the water.
Yeah, it's fair. This is like your Atlantis looking kingdom. You know, it's like an underwater, mermaids, and there's like architecture, and it is really cool. And I have to say, I did not think about like becoming a Cheep Cheep before this. That was not shown off, and I appreciate that for not being spoiled for me. Because when I first became the Cheep Cheep, that was like another moment where the transformations were significant and impactful.
Mm-hmm. And this is a level with a lot of like hidden like pathways and a hidden room and stuff. Because at first it looks pretty small, but then you find there's a lot of cool hidden stuff in this level.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it is kind of a smaller area like Wooded Kingdom, and that's an issue I have with this. I felt like, which I don't want to talk about this kingdom yet, but I feel like Lake Kingdom should have been part of a bigger world, and there's a Beach Kingdom later on that I felt like this could have been part of that world. You could have became a Cheep Cheep in that, on the Beach Kingdom, gone down in the water or something, down the ocean, and went to this kingdom. And it could have been like one big world, but instead it's broken up and it does feel smaller.
And it's a shame because by comparison to the Wooded Kingdom, I think Lake Kingdom really had something going for it. We've talked about Banjo-Tooie, and what do you remember about the Atlantis stage in that game? Have you gotten there?
Yeah. I beat Tooie.
What do you think about the Atlantis there versus the Atlantis here?
The Atlantis there, I felt like was a lot more mystical. Because it was almost like, because you started on the harbor, which I think would have helped this too if you started on the Beach Kingdom, because then they could have been talking about it, Because you start on the harbor, and then you have to open up the area, and then you go down into it, and it's just like this like almost like an unexplored place, It definitely it feels fun to explore. And I like the Lake Kingdom, but I feel like it would have been a lot more fun if instead of just being like, oh, here's Lake Kingdom, have fun, if I just like had to open the passageway in the beach area and then swim down, and it's just like, oh, mermaids and what is this big crystal ball, and what is this, like what is all this stuff, it's just like felt like a big secret kingdom,
That's fair. This one might have worked later in the game. I agree with you.
Other than that, was there anything else that stood out for you for this area?
So there's no major boss battle here that I'm seeing, although I'm not like looking over all of the moons.
There is one brutal fight, I believe.
But it's not. I wouldn't call that a major boss fight. It's like, okay, we glossed over it in the Sand Kingdom, but there was like the Aztec looking guy that you fight.
Yes.
That's your first major boss.
And you make
battle
him
in this
punch
game.
himself.
You do, yeah. which I guess is a running theme for a couple bosses here. But yeah, it just culminates in a brutal battle. That's the only major plot point here. And again, I feel like there was some room here for some like crazy octopus fight or something. You know?
I could have cleaned some fish teeth.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. I'm sorry, Sunshine.
I mean, anything though, like besides cleaning eel teeth, I think maybe that would have sucked. But you know,
Yeah.
potential it was wasted potential. Even in Mario 64, right, has that shipwreck area.
Yeah.
You know, as far as aesthetic, I think even that one feels like more like uncanny and unsettling. And you know, I get that this one is supposed to be like a very pristine Atlantis-looking stage, but a lot of room for development here.
Again, I wish instead of just throwing you in, I wish you could have discovered this on your own.
Mm-hmm.
It would have made you feel like more like you're really exploring the world, you know. And you know, instead of just being like, oh, here it is, here's the mermaid people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do like this area. I did find this area to be fun. It is one that I do enjoy going back to.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Shall we move on?
We shall. Or shall we? Because what happens when you try to move on is you get hijacked.
You get hijacked and you go to the best kingdom in the game.
Really? Talk to me about it.
The Cloud Kingdom. It's a boss fight with Bowser. That's it.
What makes this the best kingdom in the game? I'm totally joking. I know you're sarcasm.
You fight Bowser.
So you do fight Bowser here. That's it, right?
Yeah.
And
Which is cool.
It's called hat-to-hat combat.
Hat-to-hat combat with the best kind of combat.
Mm-hmm. What happens in this boss battle with Bowser?
I don't remember.
Okay, I barely do either.
I know you can take his hat. It has like boxing gloves, right?
Yeah, you take
you
his
box
hat
him?
when he throws it at you, and you put it over you, and then like you box him, and then like knock him over. It's like the pre-Bowser battles in Mario 64.
It's pretty forgettable, to be honest. And the fact that they use this gimmick again later on is also kind of forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for fighting the Bowser, like supposed to be the king of all kings, you know, and in the Mario series, like he's a pushover in this fight.
I think it's almost a disservice to call this a kingdom.
Yeah, they could have cut this area and not even had you fight Bowser. I understand they maybe wanted to set it up for the next kingdom, but you don't even really need this kingdom. Shouldn't have been here. This fight shouldn't have been here.
What do you think about this having been developed more into an actual kingdom pre the Bowser fight? So like you actually have to go and get some moons and like hang out on some clouds and do some like platforming based challenges.
Maybe. I feel like maybe that definitely if you had some like enemies that could really take advantage of that, you know, like you can hijack, like maybe. Even then, the clouds aren't even that aesthetically pleasing. They're just white clouds.
Which is weird because, you know, you come back to this one, you have the option to after you beat the game, and there is like a couple moon challenges, but only a few. It's a little weird, and it's very underdeveloped. You know, there's like nothing there. You know, I think back to, I guess, Rainbow. What is it? Rainbow Ride? Is that the name of the place in Mario 64? And that's like an aerial portrait area that has that's really memorable. You know, that I think back to fondly. You go on the carpet ride, and then like, you know, there's some fun stuff that happens in there.
They could have had like airships and rainbows and stuff.
Sure. I mean, do you think there's potential there? Would it have been just excess?
I felt like maybe this was just thrown in to have some sort of climax. Well, not climax, but some sort of fight to break up just, you know, the all the collecting. But I don't think it works.
Yeah, it's fair. It's kind of, and like you said, the fight is a little forgettable.
Yeah, it's just, you know, we saw Bowser beat Mario, and, you know, we kind of wanted, you know, maybe like leave that for the very end, you know, like this big build up to fighting Bowser again. Having him pop up in the, you know, like in the middle of the game is kind of, out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Maybe they could have had like Bowser Jr. or something. Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Be like, hey, you're not spoiling my daddy's wedding or something. And then, but he's not even in this game, is he?
No.
Yeah, and especially after like Sunshine, you thought he'd still be a vital part of the story.
You have to wait for after the wedding.
So
when they procreate, Bowser, Peach. Totally joking, by the way. Don't even think about that.
I already am.
All right. Well, I guess maybe we'll try and detour to another kingdom.
I like what you did there.
What did I do?
Detour.
Yeah, and you know why? Because this is subtitled "The Forgotten Isle." So
The Lost Kingdom.
Totally forgot that places like this even exist.
The Lost Kingdom. And it's weird because the first kingdom was like a dinosaur kingdom, but this kingdom feels way more prehistoric.
Mm-hmm.
Than
Care
that
to
kingdom
explain?
did. It's got like big trees. It's dark. It's got like poison water, whatever you want to call it. And it looks like something like straight out of like a prehistoric like movie or something. Yeah.
How did we even wind up here? Do you remember?
Good question. No.
Okay, so
I know something happens to the ship, right?
yeah, so like you're actually before you go to the Cloud Kingdom and the Lost Kingdom, you're actually slated to go to the Metro Kingdom. And
That's
to
right.
New
That's
Donk
right.
City, and you crash land. I think Bowser like makes your ship crash or something, and you wind up like lost in this kingdom, the Lost Kingdom,
The Lost one.
the Lost Boys.
This kingdom's good.
Okay.
For one, I like the fact that it is sort of like it's themed after like you finding it accidentally, you know. And it's very much it's a smaller area than say the Desert Kingdom, but I feel like there's a lot of different little like platforming challenges and puzzles.
What are some of the ones you remember?
I remember there's the mission with the toads. There's some toads that are stuck here too, because Captain Toad is everywhere, and Captain Toad is always adventuring. He's the adventurous sort, and you have to help the toads because they're also trapped here, and that was like a big standout for me.
I seem to have forgotten that one, but I believe you.
What about you? What was the standout area in this, or like mission or whatever?
It's weird because I'm looking over the breakdown of the levels in this game, and you know there's no major plot thing that really happens here in order to advance to the next kingdom. I think you only just need a certain number of moons, but the only thing I really think back to is the Wiggler transformation and how it's kind of interesting about how you like use them to pass over platforms. The poison was a big thing. This is probably one of the first times in the game where I really started dying.
Yeah, there's some tricky platforming sessions.
So that was I guess it was refreshing, you know, to see the challenge brought back. And you know, I don't think back to any like super memorable segments because I'm not like wowed by the Wiggler transformation. I don't think it's like particularly exciting by comparison to some of the other ones, but like you said, platforming challenges are refreshing here.
I think the Wiggler changes up the platforming enough to still make it interesting. It changes up the way you need to think about it, you know. Like it almost like because you can only stretch forward, land, and then like come back to that area. So it almost like feels like instead of jumping, like you really need to like, oh, and you know, instead of jumping, you know, like can I jump here to there? It's like, oh, can I stretch my body that far? Oh, you know, can I wind around this thing? Oh, you know, and I do think it did add a fun challenge. Nothing that I would have been like every level needs this, you know, but it would have been you know, it's still something that like I think does add some fun challenge.
All right, well said. Anything else you want to say about the Lost Kingdom?
The Lost Kingdom can get lost.
but not forgotten.
But not forgotten. Because we're going to a brand new kingdom.
Woohoo!
This is the one.
The one, yes.
If you see anything Odyssey related, you know this is in the game.
Mm-hmm. And one thing you may know or expect is that this is the place to be in the game.
The Metro Kingdom. New Donk City!
Whoop, whoop.
It's a city.
Life in the big city.
Teddy, you probably feel very at home.
There was something surreal about this one, for sure. I mean, like, New Donk City, New York City. Like, I was like, okay, it's totally a play, but I'm absolutely buying this. You know, like, I'm buying into the concept.
Yeah. It's cool because you start off, and the city doesn't actually start off with you exploring. It starts off with like a boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
The city's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about that?
The aesthetic of a rainy, thunderstormy New Donk City was really cool. Like, to see a city in peril. You know, it almost harkens back to, like, you know, your monster movies, like your Godzillas, I guess. And yeah, you are fighting a giant wiggler or, like, you know, some kind of centipede or something. But it is a really climactic boss battle, especially by comparison to, like, the previous two major bosses in the game. We're not going to acknowledge the brutal presence. It's actually called a Mecha Wiggler. So that's, if you like mechs, you've come to the right place. What did you feel when you started this level?
I was like, whoa, what? I gotta, and then like it was so fun because like I knew this area was in the game, so I was expecting to get out and just start running around, you know. But I got out and I realized that I had to finish this platforming challenge and then like fight this big boss. And at first I was like, what? That seems what? And then like as it kept going, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like this really like this game's doing the boss battle. Like this kingdom's doing the boss battle in reverse. Most kingdoms you would start out exploring and then do the boss fight. You know, it was like you're gonna save the city and then you're some kind of hero. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. You actually don't even really get to focus on other moons before you take out that boss.
Yeah, that boss is your priority.
Mm-hmm. And then once you do that, the kingdom really opens up. And can I just say, like, about this boss battle? Like, I think you have to climb a whole skyscraper in order to, like, you know, get to the thing. Am I right there?
Oh, when I saw the red beams that looked very Donkey Kong-ish, I was like, oh, this is cool. Mm-hmm. Like, it really, like, I don't know, like I love the classic Donkey Kong aesthetic, you know. So, mm-hmm. So seeing those red beams, I was like, okay.
It's Donkey Kong aesthetic meets King Kong monster.
Well, it's almost like maybe because like I don't know what the official lore is now, but it's almost like maybe because I know the old lore was like Mario's from Brooklyn and that's where DK took place or whatever, but like it almost makes it feel like this is they're trying to say this is where DK took place, you know?
Yeah, and
which
they did
cool.
it really good for not even bringing him in the game.
Yes, well, sorta.
Okay, you may have to tell me about that later.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you beat the boss, and the world is opened up to you. And who do you meet?
The mayor.
Is it who's the mayor? Is it
Paulina?
Pauline?
Paul
fucking Lean.
Is it
Man,
Pauline or Paulina? I don't remember.
If you would have told me Pauline was in a main series Mario game before this came out, I'd have been like, no, fuck you, you're lying to me. Pauline?
She's the mayor of the Donk.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Pauline is now... I hope Pauline shows up in more spin-off games and stuff, because I really do love Donkey Kong. And I always wonder, like, what happened to Pauline? Like, wasn't she a character? Like, what happened to Pauline? And here she fucking is.
Yeah, and she's, like, holding her own, too. Like, you know, Peach is always getting kidnapped or whatever, but, you know, Pauline returns in full form. She's looking good. and she's holding the town down. And even when like the whole catastrophe is underway, that starts the level, she's not like freaking out. She's just like, I gotta do what I can to save my city.
Yeah, she's a very strong female character,
Mm-hmm.
which is
And
something that Mario doesn't do very often.
no, for sure. I guess I appreciate her here because like she's really like she's holding down all of the main story components of the Metro Kingdom. So, part of it's like the monsters there. She's on the sidelines making sure that like, everything's going okay until things get fixed. Then once that happens, she wants to throw a celebration for New York City, but she's got to find the band members. So she recruits Mario. She recruits Mario to go find the band members.
I love the fact that the city's just full of normal ass people.
Yeah, I mean, even up
Not
to
toads,
this point, the
not
fact
like
that the game
little
teases it, like in the second kingdom in the game, or third kingdom, I guess, the
Yeah.
Sand Kingdom, and that it even teases you going to the Metro Kingdom before you fight the Bowser battle and go to the Lost Kingdom. It's like you were really looking forward to going to Metro Kingdom, and then like you're hijacked. You don't even get to go, and now you're here, and this is the playground level.
You saying something about Pauline really tying down the thematical value here really makes me wish they could have done that with other Mario characters. Like, what if you would have gone to the Sarasa Land Kingdom and met Daisy there, and Daisy would have helped you out or something. Like, I feel like that's she's from Sarasa Land, right? That's her place in like Mario Land or something like that. I don't know. Whatever kingdom Daisy's from. I feel like, like you could have gone there and met Daisy, but because that's like kind of like the magic of here is like you met Pauline and she's like a classic Mario character,
That's fair.
Anyway.
And like even looking at the Lost Kingdom, like what if you could ride Yoshi? Like I know Yoshi is elsewhere in this game, but that's a easy.
Or what if you went to or what if one island or kingdom was just the DK island, and you could see the like the Kongs hanging out, like this Pauline adds character to this kingdom. If she was missing, it would be sorely missing.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, even if you think like, because I think Metro Kingdom, maybe I'd think like, okay, Wario would work here. That'd be cool. I mean, it'd definitely be really cool to see Wario and Waluigi like hanging out in several of these levels. But Pauline is like she's almost like she's the character of this level, and I think you're right that maybe some of these levels are missing that central character.
Yeah, because like you talk to some of like the villagers and stuff, and they're neat, and you get to see their cool character designs. But it's almost like what if like Mario is like, since he's going to all these different kingdoms, he ran into people he was already familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Talk to me about what else you like about the Metro Kingdom, and I'm hoping that you bring up like the big moment for this kingdom.
I love the platforming in this kingdom. It made me think about platforming in a way that I had never thought about. Because it's not like this level is set up for platforming. It's set up like a city, first and foremost. It looks like a city. But in that, with Mario's moveset, it's almost like you're bouncing off the different buildings. You're climbing up the fire escapes. You're jumping off of cars, flying. Like flipping off of like poles and stuff. It really plays with Mario's moveset, and it like in a way that I guess I never thought about.
There's definitely some beautiful aesthetic stuff going on. I remember one section where it's like a hidden door, and then you go through the door, and then it's like a New York City street flooded with people, and you have to walk. You have to like jump over the people who are like flooding this alleyway.
Yeah, that was fun.
But there is some verticality and stuff like here. Like it could be like going under the city. It could be like going on top of skyscrapers, and especially if you love jumping from skyscrapers, or like jumping around. There's like some serious like I don't know how to call it, but like running and jumping and going on bikes and more. Go ahead.
I loved this is a small moment, but I loved whenever you had to move the manholes to get to the sewer areas.
Mm-hmm.
because you like throw your hat at them and you just like slowly slide them over. I don't know why, it just made me laugh every time.
It's pretty great. I also want to mention that there's no residual damage for long falls. So like
Yeah.
if you jump from a high, like a big height, you don't take damage when you land. So there's like it's almost just kind of really cool to like try and like jump off of skyscrapers and land on one that's like a little lower but a little further. And there's a few techniques that can help you that like I didn't pick up on until later in the game. Like there's like the hat throw slide. It's like you throw the hat, you jump on the hat, and then you like lunge toward the hat and you can throw it again. Did you have any fun like really like jumping around here?
Yes, like I said, I loved the fact that it made me use Mario's moveset in ways that I never thought about, and you know, and some of the areas, and it kind of like it's almost like if Mario was just in a real ass city, jumping around. But it works. It works surprisingly well. Yeah.
Did you like the celebration?
I like jumping rope. But yes, I also I also did like the celebration quite a bit. And this is what I was talking about when you said DK doesn't make an appearance. Bullshit.
Oh, that's right. He does. I totally spaced on that one.
I love the celebration because you get to run through. You become retro Mario, and you get to run through a Donkey Kong themed platforming area. And like classic Donkey Kong's up there, which I guess isn't the current Donkey Kong that's cranky or whatever, but still, it was super, super cool.
I totally spaced on what the theme of it was, but I was just so amazed that they were throwing a whole celebration where you're escalating the city in 2D, and they were playing that classic Mario theme song for Mario Odyssey, like the one that's like that the game is
jump
now
up,
jump up to the sky.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend who got married to, and like her walking down the aisle music was that the song.
That's awesome.
That was real fun to be a part of. But now I understand why that song is so special.
Pauline can belt it.
Yeah.
She got some pipes.
Yeah.
What can Pauline not do? I think Mario's going after the wrong girl.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's Luigi can fill his shoes.
This was definitely the standout kingdom of the game, I think.
This one was a winner all around for sure. Like this is the kingdom to play the game for.
Yeah, this is the kingdom that you're like, okay, where's the city one?
Yeah, the whole game you're just going like, where's the city one? Even before that.
And I feel like this is maybe the peak.
I really wanted to replay it. Like I wanted to experience it again. And, I am going through the second playthrough right now, but I really kind of wished I had gotten there before we, do it a second time over before we had done this video.
Even then, there's some magic. There's some Nintendo magic to that level that you just don't find anywhere else. First time playing it, it's just like it's a true experience.
Yeah.
Also, Mario can ride a scooter.
What else? Does he turn into anything else here?
No, a tank for that one boss fight. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Something like that.
Okay.
But other than that, no. You a manhole. You can ride a scooter. You can skip some rope. That's it.
And that's really cool because it almost shows that it didn't even need the transformation here.
You're right. But we can't stay here forever. The Odyssey must continue.
It must go on.
To where are we going?
I forget. We have a choice.
We have a choice.
And you asked me last time where I picked. Well, how about I ask you what did you pick, Alex?
The Snow Kingdom.
Were all your hopes and desires fulfilled at the Snow Kingdom?
I got out of the I got out of the ship at the Snow Kingdom, and I was like, what the fuck? No, 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 because it was just like a big barren snow wasteland. All you couldn't see anything, and I was like, oh, is this Cloud Kingdom again? Am I just gonna do a boss fight here? And I was like, no, I found an underground village. And I was like, ooh, whoa, what is this? And it was simply like one of the coolest moments. It's like a good fake out, you know.
Talk to me about the underground village. What's it all about?
I forgot what the guys are called, but they look like little. I know what they call, like, they're not like Eskimos, but like they're similar, I guess. They have, you know, and they live underground and they enjoy racing.
Yeah, I would say to call them Eskimos, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's like the closest thing you can really compare them to, I guess. And this area is not the biggest or the best.
But there's definitely something to be said about the transformation into the Eskimo. Like, you're these like giant bouncing, you know, snowballs, and
Like, yeah, like you're like almost like a abominable snowman or something.
and that is kind of cool. Like, I didn't even think I'd be able to turn into one, because like you can't just turn into any of them. You actually have to find like the one racer who's like been copping out of the race.
Yeah. So you take his place, and it was fun plot wise. Plus the actual racing was pretty fun too. It almost felt like, you know, those moments when you're playing a Zelda game and they have like the really weird like sumo wrestling, the Goron moment, or like snow,
even the Goron
like,
race
sled, Goron race, or like sledding down the hill or whatever. It felt like that kind of moment for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was fun the first time I did it. I watched my girlfriend do it. She it was a little hard for her, but you know, it's definitely it's enjoyable. It's playable once you get the physics of like bouncing off of like the walls like at their angles. It almost makes it made me wish I could have like done more with that Eskimo transformation.
Yeah, I wish there was more like a platforming area to use it in, or something. Like maybe you get to bounce off the walls, or maybe you need to like use it to ram into objects to break them or something, or you know, something like that. Feels like it could have been used more.
I can't honestly remember much else that happens in this kingdom. There's a giant snowstorm, so like when you first get there, it is, you know, it's kind of barren, as you had said. I'm looking at the wiki here. It says it's based off of Russia, so I guess they did a pretty good job at making it look like, you know, nothing.
It was not a bad kingdom, not a good kingdom. It's okay.
Yeah, this one was all right. What was
Thanks for
the
going to
alternative?
Seaside Hill. I mean Kingdom. Sorry, Sonic. Seaside Kingdom. Wouldn't that be awesome if we went to Seaside Hill?
I mean, I'll go to Green Hill Zone.
Seaside Kingdom, which this is the kingdom I was talking about earlier when I was talking about the Lake Kingdom.
Okay. And why did you bring up the Seaside Kingdom? Or like why did that one stand out to you?
Because I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Well, I mentioned two worlds connect. So
yes, because I feel like this world is lacking a little bit in its originality.
Are you okay with that?
No, because you know what they could have done here?
What could they have done here?
Isle fucking Delfino. They wanted a beach. If they wanted a beach stage, you have a whole game based around it, Nintendo. Just take us back there for a stage. Fans would have lost their shit. If like one kingdom, not even the whole area, but it's like, you know, one kingdom was just like the plaza or something, you know?
Yeah, I think you have a good point, because, you know, you saying that's making me think like, you know, we've talked about how like, you know, Breath of the Wild stays in conversation, you know, just between you and me, and like, you know, people are always, you know, like even to 2019, like it's still talked about. Odyssey is almost looked over in some respects, and you know, of course there are some amazing kingdoms that we've covered so far. Metro Kingdom is like a highlight, I personally, I mean, I didn't even think of it because I really did enjoy Seaside Kingdom, but what if, right? What if this was Isle Delfino? If this was Isle Delfino, don't you think that this would be the Mario game that is like still being talked about today? That like people are like losing their shit over like yo, have you played Isle Delfino in Odyssey? Oh my gosh, like it's so cool or something. So I agree with you.
Yeah, that's all I could think about while playing this kingdom. It was a fun kingdom. I'm gonna go get the other way. It was a fun kingdom. It had water elements. You get to be a cheap or like a squid thing. You know, I had fun things to do. There was a big squid boss and stuff, and it was definitely fun. Yes, I do enjoy this kingdom, but the whole time I was playing, yeah, I was like, this should have been Isle Delfino. This could have been a new area in Isle Delfino. You could have still tied it to Isle Delfino. Had the little what are their names called, the Piantas. You know, could have had them there. Be like, oh, Mario, hey, long time no see. Will you help us with this squid? You know, or something.
I think my personal feeling against this one is that, again, it was underdeveloped. You know, this one I thought was so beautiful and had a lot of potential, and it's, you know, if there's a level I want to go back to, it probably is this one. You know, if I want to go explore the levels after the game. Problem is, this level has one story mission, and it's just to defeat the octopus that's like hogging the water pump. And then you defeat it, and the level looks exactly the same. There's not any more water than there was before.
That's why I'm thinking they could have just tied the Lake Kingdom in with this kingdom, and had maybe the octopus squid is like blocking the pathway to the Lake Kingdom. So you can like grab a cheap, and after you beat him, you can swim down into the Lake Kingdom under the beach. Wouldn't that have been cool?
I mean, if there was like some overlap between those two, I think that would be amazing.
Of course, you wouldn't like you wouldn't
really mentioned yet are the portraits that are hidden in some of these levels.
Oh yeah, Mario 64, everybody.
Yeah, in between, but like, you know, teleportation between current kingdoms, not like, you know, into the worlds. If they had done something like that here, I don't know. Maybe if they had like replaced that, you know, so that like the worlds were connected, like a 2E style thing. Maybe that'd be cool.
That's true. I just feel like, you know, if they would have taken this kingdom and Lake Kingdom and made them one kingdom instead, like just called it like the Water Kingdom or something like that, or Ocean Kingdom,
and had them interact in meaningful ways. I agree.
Yeah, and then they could have done the same thing with the Wooded Kingdom and the Lost Kingdom or something like that, you know.
I have to think about that one.
Or just something like that, you know. Like they could have, some of these smaller kingdoms could have been part of a bigger kingdom, you know, where you had your story mission about the garden, or you had your story mission about the snow race, you know, plus a whole other area to explore. And I know they're capable of doing it because they do it, and the Sand Kingdom.
But Alex, don't you love playing the volleyball?
Yeah, it's good. I like being a squid thing.
Yeah, the one that like ink
like
jets
rockets.
Across.
Yeah, like rockets. It's like it made me laugh every time I played as it. Other than that, I do think this is still a fun area to explore. It's just a bit empty-hearted.
Yeah, sad. So much potential.
But the next kingdom might make up for that.
Really? What is it?
It's the... You want to say it?
It's lunchtime in the Luncheon Kingdom.
The Luncheon Kingdom.
Quick, what was your first impression when you landed in the Luncheon Kingdom?
My eyes! My eyes! So many colors, man.
Yeah, wow. This is like Candyland.
Yeah, this kingdom's all about food. And never before has food looked so pretty.
And it actually replicates the toxicity of intestinal digestive fluids. I'm totally joking, by the way, but the lava from the Lost Kingdom, like the toxic poison, is like, you know, is brought back. So
Yeah, it is a very cool kingdom. I think this is one of the highlights of the game. I do think it's fairly good size, I feel. And it has more development than a lot of the smaller kingdoms.
yeah, it's true. What were some ways you found this kingdom developed?
I really liked this game. This level is one of the first ones that I really started dying. I'll be honest, especially with the lava stuff everywhere. It's a lot of the platforming was very tough at points. And I love becoming a little lava ball. You could transform into a little lava creature and jump in and out and like swim through the lava, so like open the world up even more. And I like food.
I mean, who doesn't? Sucks to be them.
What about you, Teddy?
I was actually expecting a little more from this kingdom. And, I think lava bubbles were cool. I think there's nothing better for transformation than to really feel like it opens a level up for you. And the lava bubbles definitely do that in an area where you can only traverse so far as Mario. You said as the Cheep, it really opened the world up for you. The lava bubbles are, like the transformation, I don't want to call them gimmick, but like, staple for Luncheon Kingdom. I just felt like, I don't know, maybe I wanted more platforming challenges. The volcano segment was okay. I'm not like crazy about the boss showdown here, like where you fight the vulture. And I just, the food items were almost sporadic. Like I think there was turnips in, like halfway through the level. I'm like, okay. But I never got the sense that I was like fully integrated into the food concept of Luncheon Kingdom. That's how I took it personally.
I do agree, and I don't know. I still feel like this is a better kingdom than some of the other ones.
Oh, I agree. And it's good to see a nice, fully developed kingdom again.
I still spent more time here than I did like the Wooded Kingdom.
Oh, for sure. Wooded Kingdom is not a highlight.
It's fun. It's a fun, colorful, lava-filled food kingdom.
What was your favorite aesthetic element here?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
I'm just looking it over. There was cheese blocks, and you become like the Hammer Bros. It was nice to see the Hammer Bros again.
Oh yeah, you do become a Hammer Bros on this stage.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
So it was nice to see them at one point. Also, there's like forks you can like flick up as the forks.
Yeah.
So.
And who doesn't want to be a fork?
For me. Yeah, I mean it's a great life, right? Just fork around.
Forking around. But as much as lunchtime only comes once a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the show must move on. You gotta get to the at the end of the day, Mario has a wedding that he has to crash. He's the resident wedding crasher.
The next kingdom I want to go ahead and rename. Do you mind if I do that?
Not at all.
Okay, so the original name is the Ruined Kingdom. I would like to call this stage the Ruined Potential Kingdom.
Why is that, Alex?
Because this area has so much potential, and it's fucking ruined.
Well, let's start with how we got here. Do you want me to do it? I'll tell you how we got here. We were going to stop the wedding. We were going straight to Bowser's Kingdom. And then what happens? Your ship is crashed yet again. Except by not just Bowser, but a motherfucking dragon. I'm not talking like How to Train Your Dragons, rated PG for parental guided audience. No.
Ain't no fucking Pete's dragon here. Puff the Magic Dragon, get out of here.
I'm talking like Dragon Quest 11 style dragon. Of course, not Akira Toriyama because I mean this is
We in,
not, you know,
we're in
Squeenix.
fucking Skyrim now.
God damn it! You know, like fucking Dovahkiin Dragonborn, straight out of Elder Scrolls. Like you don't fuck with the Mario Odyssey dragons. Like this thing when you first come into this like I'm so sorry if I'm spoiling this for someone right now. Like if you decide to listen to us for an hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah,
and
what
now
the
this
hell's
is
wrong
your
with
first time
you?
hearing about a goddamn dragon in Mario Odyssey, I'm sorry, but just stop the podcast. Just stop it and just go play and go experience the dragon of Mario Odyssey.
Whenever that happened, I was so fucking excited because I was like, what are we getting ourselves into now? And we landed, and it's like the ruined kingdom. And I see this big ass castle, and it looks all real. Like it has a really good, realistic aesthetic. And I'm like, whoa, I get to explore this? And then I didn't.
What did you get?
I got to walk up some stairs and fight a dragon.
What did you think about the dragon fight?
The dragon fight's good. It's really good, really creative. I like the fact that the style of the dragon really clashes with Mario. It really does feel like you're in some really like Mario's never been in this type of place before, you know. But at the same time, I wish I could have explored this kingdom as a kingdom.
I hear what you mean. I didn't get that sense, but I definitely, you only get like 5 moons here or something. It's like not even that many. 3 of them are from the dragon. So I get it. I was almost like hoping there would be more to do here. But
Like-
the dragon fight is good. It's a really good boss battle.
Let me sell you on a kingdom, okay?
Yeah.
What if the dragon shot you down and you landed right outside of this giant gothic castle? And there's these villagers that are like, Mario, or hey, stranger, please help us. We can't get back. The king can't get back into the castle because the dragon has taken over the castle or whatever. So it becomes a platforming stage about climbing this giant tower to get up to the dragon. And then you still have the showdown with the dragon. But at the end, the castle, King gets his castle back. Maybe it looks a bit less drab. Who knows how long that dragon's been up there? That's why it's ruined.
I'll tell you what. If Mario turned into like a fucking dragon, I would have lost my shit.
Or what if he turned to like a knight?
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
that would be the final boss battle. Like
This could have
culminate
been
like a night dragon.
This could have been
showdown.
a fucking amazing area.
Although I have to say there is some appeal to fighting a dragon like an oversized dragon as Mario.
Yeah,
There's some authenticity to that.
it's strange, but I love it.
Yeah, I love that too. Did you feel that the dragon battle was as hype as it could have been or should have been?
I think so. Maybe. Again, I think if the circumstances was changed around it, it would have been even better. But even then, it's still a big surprise.
Yeah. Even when I came to this kingdom, I did not expect to be fighting the dragon, like when he first showed up.
It was unexpected, and it was at the same time one of my favorite moments in the game and one of my least favorite moments in the game. I've never felt so split about a level.
Wow.
Because I really did like the aesthetic. And I felt like a Mario platformer with this kind of aesthetic for a stage would have been amazing.
All right, keep that in mind, Nintendo. Gothic Mario.
Gothic Mario, no, just one stage. It could have been awesome. But after we beat the dragon, we're on our way, and we finally make it to Bowser's Kingdom.
Irashimasen. I'm going to have to start dropping Japanese on you.
Why is this area Japanese themed? That's my question.
Okay, I don't know, but I love it.
It's cool. It's definitely cool. But as Bowser's Castle, when I first got here, I was like, why is this Japanese themed?
I think this is probably one of my favorite Bowser settings.
Oh yes, definitely.
What are some of the standout features here?
I love the little bird that you like use its beak to poke your way into the walls to like do some platforming that way. And you can like you use that kind of like the forks before. You can use it to fling yourself. Only you get to stay as the bird.
Yeah,
And it's really fun.
They open up the level quite a bit, and like just when you thought like what could they do now, there's some crazy platforming here. Like you're going off the side of the buildings to collect moons and like hope that you don't fall off. I died quite a few times here. I'm gonna be honest. They also upped the ante as far as like some boss battles. Like the brutals they come in pairs now. And what else is there? You have to fight all of the brutals in one machine at the very end of it. And then even some of the monsters that you fight, you know? There's like these, you know, you're used to like the thwomps or whatever from like 64. Yeah. Well, now they have like these full-on cement blocks that like, and they call them ogres. You know, there's something like very, you know, sinister and menacing about them.
I think that I think that some of the other games have touched on as a more Japanese style level. Maybe like I think it was 3D World had some stages like that, but they really didn't live up to this potential. This area, while I do question the fact why is it Bowser's area that's themed Japanese? Is Bowser Japanese? Like what? You know, like questions. But at the same time, I love it.
This feels like a epic end game sequence, and I think the crazy thing is that it's not.
Yes, it's not the end game. Bowser's Castle is not the end of the game. What? But it definitely makes you feel like you're going up to like fight some kind of big shogun, and I wish we could have had like a like a showdown between Mario and Bowser like on the roof or something of his castle, like with like samurai swords or something.
Yeah, really. Like, why am I fighting? I just fought the brutals before. Now I gotta fight all of them again. Like, they're really trying to sell me on this rap.
Let me rank the brutals for you. It goes Clue Land, then the
going
brutals.
Up to down or what?
We're going up's the better thing. So Clue Land's better, and then the brutals are worse.
Jesus, how are you worse than Clue Land? Like,
I would have rather played Clue Land.
That'd be interesting, at least, you know. Like, there's something to learn about history there. Brutals, you know, they just when you thought like, you know, you're done with these fuckers, they're still there. In Bowser's Kingdom, do you fight Bowser? No, you fight brutals. And you fight them twice, 3 times. There's no logic here whatsoever.
They should have had this is where you should have removed Bowser's fight from the Cloud Kingdom and put a Bowser fight here. And you would have thought, oh, this is the end of the game. No, it's not. Bowser would have escaped.
And, you know, the thing is, the sequence leading up to it is so great because you go through, like, these little chains of, like, the Japanese pagoda-esque areas, and, like, you vault over to, like, different areas, and then, like, you climb, escalate the tower. This is a real kingdom right here. Like, you know, we were talking kingdoms before, like Seaside Kingdom feels more like a seaside area or whatever. This is full out, like, to proportion. And it's just a shame that they did not make it live up to its potential.
Yeah.
And just from a simple oversight, like you said, just put Bowser there. Just take out the midway Bowser fight in the Cloud Kingdom.
Yeah, have Bowser here. You fight him once, and then maybe he like traps you or something, and he gets away with, you know, the princess again. And you're like, oh no, not this time. And it would have made the next area feel even better because it would have been like a hot pursuit, you know. Like, will Mario make it in time? We're going on Hot Pursuit 2. Just when you thought this game was already out of this world, we're going to the motherfucking Moon Kingdom.
God damn it. What was your first impression when you went to the moon?
What? No, I actually thought of Mario Land 2. I don't know if you played that game
Mario Land 2.
on the Game Boy.
I'd have to see some footage.
There's a level based on the moon, and I was like, I don't know why. I just had flashbacks to that.
Wait a sec. Is this the one where you fight like the mouse?
Yes, it's the Mario Land 2 where it's like there's like
I love that one.
where like Wario takes over the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
no,
yeah,
I'm
Wario's the
a
boss.
little nostalgic about that game. That's like an early game for me.
That's a good game, and there's a moon area. There's like a moon world on that game, and that's what kind of reminded me of. Because I started jumping, and it has the same effect where there's no gravity, and Mario just like whoa, you know, and I was like,
insane here.
Yeah, they're fun.
And yeah, you know, we said like Bowser's Kingdom could have been like the end of the game. Well, the Moon Kingdom feels like a serious. You know, I didn't even expect it to be end of the game, but like when it kind of did that, it was just insane.
And
maybe just talk to me about the moon for a sec.
well, you get to the moon, and there's not a lot there, but you see a chapel in the distance, and you know you hear wedding bells, and you know that's obviously where it's going down. This is it. This is the end of the road. You have to go stop that wedding. I mean, even though, you know, getting married on the moon, like, Jesus, Bowser's is pretty fucking romantic.
How can you turn that down as Princess Peach?
Yeah, like getting married on the moon, like I'd have been like, dude, like, you went through all this trouble for me, like building a chapel on the moon so we can get married on the moon.
There's I don't know. There's some beauty to this area. To the physics of it. You know, you thought they couldn't do anything else different. And again, you do need a few transformations here, but for the bulk of the moon experience, it's again, you know, Mario jumping, and it's great.
Yes. And I wish this does have some pretty good platforming sections to lead up to the chapel, but I do wish that this level was a little more. I know that might have been asking for too much, but I do wish it did have a little more to explore.
It had its own moon unique challenges and not necessarily end game challenges. Correct?
Yes, it could have been like maybe there's like a colony of like aliens or something, you know, or something like that. Some stupid, I don't know, but maybe not aliens, but you know, there could have been something up there. Been, you know, and then like there could have been other things going on the moon. You know, maybe they could have called back to Mario Galaxy for this. Maybe you could have met the Rosalina or Lubba up there or something. Because you know Mario's been in space before, so
it is nostalgic to see most of the characters that you had seen previously in the game invited to the chapel.
How'd they get there? I don't know.
I don't know, me neither.
But they're there on the moon,
and they're all freaking out when like Bowser's about to Mario Peach. He's about to marry Peach.
Yeah, it's a big moment, and I love the dramatic entrance.
Mm-hmm. Mario.
Like it's
that's my Peach.
This I think as a final area, this really stands out amongst the other Mario final areas. It's not a lava place. It's not like, you know, whatever. It's the moon.
Mm-hmm.
The motherfucking moon.
Yeah, you thought Mario could jump any
moon.
higher. Mario jumped to the moon, and you know, that's really special. You know, it's
fly.
Really, he took it to the next level. You know, and I gotta say I commend the Mario bro for that.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play amongst the stars. I'm sorry, I'm not even Sinatra, but that's pretty good though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Let me see what life is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Maybe in Odyssey too.
I wish they would have let me.
Yeah. How do you feel about the end game pursuit sequence?
Oh my god! So after you pummel Bowser, what you pummel Bowser, they fall into like a big cavern, right?
I can barely remember. I did just play this like 2 weeks ago, and I can barely remember. Like I just finished
They
it.
fall into a big cavern, and you I forgot what exactly happens, but the moon is going. Something's gonna fucking explode.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get the hell out of there. And Mario and Peach are like, "Oh shit, we're gonna die! Like nothing's. What's? Oh no!" And then Mario has a crazy idea. He uses the unconscious Bowser, and it was one of my. It's probably my favorite surprise moment in the whole game.
Mm-hmm. And the game knows it too. It owns it.
It's so good. Yeah. Well, like he even throws his hat on to Bowser, and then Peach looks at him like, Mario, like what just happened? You know? And then and then you use Bowser to escape the moon.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty epic, I have to say. Previous games, I guess it was Bowser's Inside Story, let you play as Bowser, but like, does that really feel like playing as Bowser?
No, it was
Probably
no.
not. But this, you're fully clawing, stomping, running through like a crashing moon kingdom as the big bad Koopa King, and it is hype. It's unreal. It's almost unbelievable that you're getting to do it, but when you get to do it, you fully own it, and it's so much fun.
It's definitely. I wasn't expecting this big standout moment at the end of the game, and I was like, "Holy shit!" So it definitely turned the whole game on its head, and it was funny too because it also explains how Bowser got out of that sticky situation too. It was clever.
Mm.
So.
Yeah.
And I also love at the very end, whatever, after it all happens, and then they're on the surface of the moon, and both Mario and Bowser are like fighting for Peach's love. And Peach is like Peach like rejects both of them, and then she gets on the airship. It was so funny. No, it was good.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the best end game sequences for a Mario game.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, "Oh, thank you, Mario, thank you for saving me," or like a kiss on the nose or something like that. It was just like they're both like, "So who are you gonna marry?" And Peach was like, "Nobody." Get on the airship. We're going home.
My cap. Going to marry my cap. No. She pulled a fast one, but it was definitely, it was climactic. It was epic in every sense of the word, and I'm almost shocked that Odyssey has not become more talked about to this day. Like, I know there was a lot of hype around the game around its initial release, but I barely see any news on it, any like information on it, and how it's like reinvented Mario aside from just transformations. How it's kind of bold in so many different directions.
You're right. Which we can go and say this is where I stopped playing the game. Teddy, is this where you stopped playing, or did you play more after this?
No, because I saw a spoiler early in one of the levels through the portraits for the kingdom after this. Okay. And I knew in the back of my head I had to get to that kingdom.
So after this isn't the end of the game. You go to the where could we go? We've been to all these kingdoms. What's left? Where could we go, Teddy?
The kingdom where it all started.
The Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah. And I did run around here and kind of like look around and explore and stuff for a little bit, but it's definitely a nice surprise. I like the fact that it starts back and like Mario's like sleeping. He's like resting. Everything's back to normal.
Mm-hmm. It's calm, and there's always like throwbacks to Mushroom Kingdom. Like, there's a part in Mario Kart 64 where you can drive to the Mushroom Kingdom and just like go hang out there, but you can't really do anything. Mario 64, when you beat the game, you can kind of run around the castle, and there's like You can you can fly on top of the castle if you get the red wing, but that's about it. This is like a fully realized Mushroom Kingdom with purple coins, stars, tons of outfits to wardrobe Mario with. It's so much fun. You can do like, I don't think I've seen games do boss rush mode in as good a way as I have seen Mushroom Kingdom do it, where you jump into the portraits and you fight those bosses over, except more challenging versions of themselves. Not necessarily that they do more damage, but they actually like accelerate their attack patterns or change it up a little bit. There's a lot of fun and even especially challenging moments to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Very cool Mario 64 throwback for sure. Because this is the first time we've really been able to run around the Mushroom Kingdom since Mario 64.
Mm-hmm. And you can even do it in a whole Mario 64 outfit.
Yeah, the low poly outfit. It's so cool.
Do you like it as post-game content?
That's something that I don't feel qualified to answer. Because I did stop playing shortly after. I just kind of played around here for a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. But I didn't do much in this kingdom. I also didn't do a whole lot in the other kingdoms, and I know there's some post content on like the moon and stuff, and I didn't do a whole lot of that.
I can speak to them if you want, but I'll let you.
Okay, well maybe you can go ahead. I'm just saying that I didn't do them because I didn't feel a need. Do you get anything for doing everything?
No. The only thing you can really get is like more outfits, as far as I see.
I feel like if they would have added another motive, like another reason why I should, like in Galaxy, I believe in Galaxy 2, I got everything because if I did, I unlocked some secret areas or something like that, some like secret galaxies. In this game, I didn't feel like running around and collecting everything for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Can go ahead and speak on the post-game content, I guess.
Okay. The reason why I kept playing is because I was so thoroughly enjoying the prospect of collecting and getting more moons, and by the time I had finished, I had probably 200 moons. I think it's gone up to like 350, 370 or something. And, I know there's 800 or so. But that thrill died probably around 300 when I realized that there's no major benefit to getting moons. There's no like significance to them aside from the actual aspect of collecting them. It's like, why am I going to herd sheep from across the Mushroom Kingdom into a little ranch? Or why am I going to, go to a shop and spend 1,000 coins to get 10 moons? There's some futility to it. I think the Mushroom Kingdom by itself would have been fine. But they threw these stupid blocks that you can't do anything with in all of the levels until you beat the game, and then you throw your cap at it, and now they can erupt into like 20 moons or so. And while I do like exploring the levels again and seeing them in different lights, I just felt like you said, the need is not there because the core experience is already done. And should I be upset that there's more game content? Absolutely not. I think that if you look at it from the surface level, there are some really standout levels and kingdoms here, and it's even great to just go back to the ones that you really like. But as you had said, that gratification, that sense of being like feeling satisfied from taking your time and really exploring to the full extent every level is just not there. I had no incentive to really consult a walkthrough and like make sure I had everything. It just did not matter to me.
What if the game had told you that if Mario collected every single moon in the game, you could unlock a secret last kingdom?
Last game? What do you mean?
Last kingdom. A secret last kingdom. but you needed all these moons. Would
What
you
could they
do it?
offer? Where would you go? The sun?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's just say there's some amazing last kingdom to find.
Okay. I don't know how much better you can get. I mean, unless you can just now run around all of, Super Mario Sunshine in up-res graphics.
Well, I think
I'd
the fans
be
have
down for
spoken out on wanting that already. Yeah, it was like Isle Delfino, or if it was like DK Island, or something. Maybe Yoshi Island. Something. Something new, something fresh, something not seen in 3D Mario. But you had to get, let's not even say all the moons. You had to get like 600. Would you do it? Would that be enough?
How about a Donkey Kong level or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe like DK Island.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. See, and that's all it took was that's all we needed was like, oh, if you collect everything, you get to do this, And I would have been like, oh, I guess I'm collecting everything. But instead, you don't really get anything. So that's why I don't think I'm going to do any of the post-game content.
I will say there's two other sides to the moon, like a dark side and a darker side of the moon. And I started the dark side of the moon, not the Pink Floyd album, but I started it in the game, and I quickly found that I was, I did not enjoy it. It was harder versions of the what the hell are they called? The bunnies. And, I already knew I didn't like them. And, I tried it once, and I died, surprisingly. And I kind of lost interest. And I'm looking at, like, what the even darker side of the moon is, and it does not look like anything to write home about.
Mario Odyssey, Teddy. Mario Odyssey. This has been an odyssey. We're almost at 2 hours for this fucking video. It's been an odyssey.
It's been honestly, it's been quite the odyssey.
And looking back on Mario Odyssey, I always recommend this game to people when they get a Switch. And it is a solid game, but how do you feel it stacks up against the other 3D Mario titles?
It's been quite a while since I've played a Mario in 3D and got really excited about it and like finished it. I have been looking forward to getting to Sunshine for quite a while. I think this is one of the most spectacular as far as like things you can experience here. I think the transformation gimmick is beautiful and it's well executed. I absolutely love the fact that you can customize outfits. I think that adds a whole enjoyment factor to the game that I was not expecting to even enjoy that much. Like, I think I was aware of it. I think it's also, it misses a couple opportunities there that, maybe just a little extra time and reflection would have helped for. I understand that like a Mario game had to come out early for the Switch, and I know that they didn't do it like right on launch, but maybe some extra time to reflect and make sure that that excitement factor stayed consistent through the entire game could have helped. And is it asking a lot? Maybe it might be. Where do you stand on it?
I feel like Mario Odyssey is the most completely realized 3D Mario game we've gotten in. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I still might rank Galaxy above it because I do hold Galaxy in such high regards. But in terms of say Mario 64 or Mario Sunshine, like Collectathon Mario, I do think this is the most fully realized game, but still misses the mark. It's good. It's really good. I do still recommend this to people, like I said. I still do think this is a great Mario title. But will I say that if a sequel ever comes out, if they make Mario Odyssey 2 and they make the improvements and they make the things that I didn't like about this game um, non-existent, will I come back and still hold this game in such high regards? I don't know.
I don't think you will.
It's hard to say too because this is such a new title.
And we're relatively new Switch owners, but I think we've spent enough time with the console to say like we're versed in it, and especially even Odyssey. I think just based on our conversation though, that Odyssey is a game of potential and realized potential, but it's not a game of fully realized potential.
It is such a mixed bag. Because either the kingdoms are undercooked or they are perfect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you have those few kingdoms that just feel perfect. Like, oh, this is great. The game is great. This is amazing. And those are the kingdoms I think of, you know? But going back through and thinking about the Lake Kingdom, thinking about the Wooded Kingdom, thinking about the Beach Kingdom, thinking about the Snow Kingdom, like, yeah, they're a little underwhelming.
And to like make matters worse, you know, there's a couple great boss battles. I'm not going to knock the ones that are great. There's also levels that don't execute boss battles very well. You know, Ruined Kingdom, for instance, you had said, is a ruined kingdom. It's completely ruined because there's no kingdom. It's just a boss battle. And I don't know how many of these levels culminate in brutal battles, but they suck. They absolutely suck. Why does the Cascade Kingdom, a level that has to do with T-Rexes and chain chomps, have to do with like a Madame Bunny? You know, like
I hope you could have fought a dinosaur. Wouldn't it be cool?
As the
like
dinosaur.
A pterodactyl?
Like you could actually use the T-Rex again.
Yeah, what if like a big pterodactyl was the one holding the last boons you need, you know?
That would have been an amazing start to the game.
But I just hope the Brutals don't come back. I hope if they do a sequel to Odyssey, which I don't know if they will. It's hard to say. I mean, they did a sequel to Galaxy and they did a sequel to the 3D Land game with 3D World. So maybe they could do Odyssey 2. I could see it happening for sure. Will it happen though? I don't know. But if they do, just cut the Brutals out. If you can't give us a new interesting
with something meaningful, you know.
Well, like even if you can't come up with a new interesting character to have around the whole game, just give me better boss fights. Give me new boss fights. Give me themed boss fights. Let me beat up Clu Land.
Oh man.
What if on the final stage of this game you just fought a giant Clu Land cartridge?
That would not happen. That would absolutely not happen.
Oh. Toddy.
You feeling tired?
Oh my god. If you guys can't tell, this Odyssey has been tiring.
You know, before we even did this, we tried recording it, and I was already dead tired, and I requested to stop. So we've actually been at this for like 2.5 hours.
Sorry if we're not as energetic this time, guys. But talking about Odyssey has still been fun, and it's still, if you have a Switch, I would still say this is probably one of the top 3 games to get.
Mm-hmm. It's actually one of the top 3 games on the Switch as far as sales.
I would hope so.
Mm-hmm. So I mean that's a good sign. I think that does warrant another Odyssey, but what I would want from another Odyssey, personally, is I would want maybe a game that combines the settings of all the major 3D Marios to this point in some meaningful way.
Like, that'd be hard, especially with Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm asking for too much classic, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of wanted more classic throwbacks. Like you had said, especially after the discussion. Like I think more 64 throwbacks would be amazing. If you could do more in the castle, that would be amazing. If you could like
Or just
really explore the Sunshine Plaza, amazing. Like I don't know.
just meeting more of the Mario cast, because I mean, meeting Pauline, while it was a cool throwback to Donkey Kong, it was just cool on a lore level for Mario. As Mario fans, we want to see these characters in these big adventures. I want to see Wario and Waluigi. I want to see Yoshi. I want to see Daisy. Like these characters, you only see them playing sports, playing kart racing, playing party games, but we never just get to see them like in their natural environment, and that's something that could easily be sold upon.
I guess what we're really asking for is Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, only with Mario.
with
Mario Adventure.
Or Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Open your heart. But yeah, and I don't know. It's a weird subject to talk about with another Odyssey, but with the I know like I don't really want like I'm not one to be like, oh yeah, pander to my nostalgia even more, because I do like new ideas. But I feel like with Odyssey, where its gimmick was exploring Mario's world, that is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think my problem with it was really like it was never about the core experience. Even though the wedding, etc., was really like climactic, even though a lot of these scenes were really climactic, the those items, right? Like those wedding items that you try and get back are never really. You never even see them. You don't see like the flower garland, or the other thing.
I forgot they existed, honestly, until my second playthrough when I got to Lake Kingdom, and they were like, the dress was stolen for the wedding, and I was like, oh yeah, Bowser's stealing stuff. Shit. That's happening.
Yeah, I think you go through all the troubles to like find the items, and then they're all just taken. Like they all end up at the wedding anyway. So I really did. I was seeking some more meaningful, story interactions here, because it only ever felt like it was really, sporadic and spruce throughout.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe Odyssey is still. I don't know. I'll be very interested to see if in 20 years if Odyssey is like fondly remembered, or if it's Mario Sunshine where there's like a big split, Because I could easily see a lot of kids playing this as their first Mario and being like, yeah, this is fun, Mario, Like, but I could also see a lot of fans playing it and be like, oh, like at first it feels like such a fresh new idea while also harkening back to like the collectathon Mario games, but just missing the mark, on so many occasions that it almost outweighs the good. Does it? No, I think it's still really good.
I think what we're really trying to ask here is it worth it?
Is it better? Is it better than Clue Land?
Is it super?
Guys, please let us know your thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey. This has been a long ass discussion. We are the exhausted mappers. Where we are exhausted.
I don't know. We got lost somewhere in the map, but not forgotten.
Not forgotten. So thanks for hanging in there, guys. Thanks for listening to the Button Mappers exhausted Mario Odyssey map out.
Mar out.
Mario.
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 Super Mario. Mario. do your best,
Super
Toad.
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Do your best Toad
Odyssey.
voice.
It would be Crash Bandicoot.
He's like, hello.
Yeah, I think you should stick with your best Toad voice. I'll just enjoy it.
Mario. I think the real question here is, when are we getting the Birdo game? God damn it!
Oh, you're on your own on that one.
Where's the Birdo game?
I'm
Where's
not joining you for that.
Clue?
I'm not
Where's
joining you for that
Clue Land
map
2? Clue Land 2. Nintendo.
No.
You know, one day we're gonna have to do a Clue Land video, and it's gonna suck.
I mean, we could just like react.
We keep egging on this game, and
You're not down to
eventually
do like a reaction video to like Clue Land, and we could just sit and eat popcorn.
we're gonna have to
talk
do
about every other game that we've done a video on.
We're gonna have to do like an intellectual discourse on fuck Clue Land.
And on why we'll never touch it.
Yeah, why we'll never play Clue Land again.
Why we'll never get past the menu screen.
Oh, I feel bad because I feel like there's probably like one guy that loves Clue Land, and he's gonna like listen to our show at some point and be like, "What?"
Well, I kind of want to see the reviews now.
For Clue Land.
This
This is going off. Should we end the show?
No, I got to see the top review for Clue Land on Amazon. It's gonna say "fuck
Oh.
Clue Land." You know it will.
Dude, did you listen to the Mario?
Exist on Amazon.
Did you listen to the Mario Odyssey map out? Yeah, but I stopped. It was pretty long. I stopped halfway through. Dude, at the end, they went on a whole fucking tangent about Clue Land.
Don't worry, I'll put it in the timestamps.
Good lord.
Oh no.
Fucking
It has
Clue
one rating
Land.
on Amazon, 4 stars.
Oh, what? Oh, can you read it?
Well, believe it or not, I still enjoy playing this game even to this day. Easy to pick up and play. Just added it to the collection.
What a review.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever, dude. I think you
Whatever.
should take a little more time to play your games before you start reviewing them.
Yeah. Have you ever played a game before? Maybe that was his first time playing a game.
Yeah, that's true. I don't actually believe it. He said believe it or not, so
Is it Ripley?
that's where I stand. I don't believe it.
Ripley's, believe it or not.
Amazon.
Did this guy enjoy Clue Land? It's still a mystery.
Has this guy played Mario Odyssey?
Is this, probably not. But you should at home or on the bus.
Yeah,
because you can
despite
take
all
the
of our
Switch.
kind of like what is it? Like picking on it? Or like pin
Well, that's the point of a map out, Teddy.
Well, I mean, I know, but like it may sound like we're like harsh, but I mean, I think the fact of the matter is that it's really redeeming in so many ways, not to the point where you shouldn't play it. Like, I think you can map out a game and say like, oh, you shouldn't play it. But like, I think with the Mario Odyssey map out, the key thing to keep in mind is that it is map worthy, and it does inform you, like it enlightens, where, even though it's not perfect, it has potential. I think that's the key.
We don't map out games we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
We're not up here mapping out.
We're not is in the future.
We're not mapping out Bubsy, we're not mapping out all these shitty games. So the fact that we are mapping out, we have to critique something we already like is hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it does kind of let us see the game from less of a nostalgic or fanboy viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us view the game.
Guys at home, I mean, we're at 2:04. I can't believe you've listened for this long. please let us know what you've been thinking of the Map Out series. I hope you like it.
Spencer, you can comment today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can always comment, Spencer.
No, not on the Sega videos.
Well, if he's nice, I don't really mind. I always enjoy Spencer sarcasm, and humor and point of view. But, Map Out's probably one of my favorite of our series that we do, and I'm always looking for some feedback on it. So
and it's the hardest. We work the hardest on these videos.
That's absolutely true.
Or
that's absolutely
episode.
True.
What do you want to call them?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be greatly appreciated to smash that subscribe button, like that bell, notify your subscribers, tell your mom and dad, tell your mailman, go to the post office, send us a copy of Clue Clue Land. We will burn it,
but not before we review it.
No,
and I do like bell peppers, so just say.
Do you want to send you a bell pepper?
You can.
Okay, well, I mean, you should have brought that up in the Food Kingdom.
Maybe if they had more bell peppers.
Mario Odyssey doesn't have enough bell peppers, damn it.
Let's go out on that.
I'm at GameStop and the guy's like, hey, I just bought a Switch. Have you played this Mario Odyssey game? I'm like, not enough bell peppers, dude.
No, needs more bell peppers.
Not enough fucking bell peppers in that game.
They got the Mushroom Kingdom, but they were missing out on the Bell Pepper Kingdom.
Yeah, the Bell Pepper Kingdom. Like, come on, dude. Like, the hollowed up peppers as like little homes and like, I don't know. Wait, is that weird? Like, cause like the toads are mushrooms, so like, would the residents be mushrooms? Holy shit, Teddy. Toads are like little mushroom guys, right? And they live in mushroom houses. Are they living in themselves? Find out next time on this episode of Game Theory.
Intellectual discourse on the toads.
Game Theory. Five Nights at Freddy's or something. I don't know.
Came up with a great conclusion.
Okay. You should probably get off here.
Yeah, probably. It's hard to get off. The map out is forever.
The map out is forever. Yahoo. Super Mario Odyssey. Okay, bye everybody.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.